If you know your ancestor came from Germany, Ireland, Italy, Poland, or somewhere else in Europe, you may be tempted to jump straight into European records. But that can be a huge mistake. Knowing the country is often not enough. What you really need is a town, birth date, a family connection, or another clue that points you to the right place. And some of the best clues may already be waiting for you right here in American records. Before you cross the Atlantic in your research, there are 5 kinds of American records I would check first. You do not need to find all 5. The goal is to collect enough clues to identify the right person and, ideally, the right town or parish in Europe. First, look for naturalization records. These can be some of the best records for identifying an immigrant's European birthplace, especially records created after federal naturalization forms were standardized in 1906. A naturalization file may give you an exact date and place of birth, information about where the immigrant lived before coming to the United States, the port they left from, the date they arrived, and even the name of the ship. That information can completely change your search. Instead of looking for someone named Johann Müller somewhere in Germany, you may suddenly have a birth date, a town, and an arrival date. Now you have something specific to work with. Just remember that earlier naturalization records can be much less detailed. And before 1906, immigrants could naturalize in many different courts, including federal, state, county, and local courts. So if you do not find a naturalization record in one place, keep looking. Second, check passenger arrival records. And this is where I want you to slow down and look at the original image. Do not stop with just the index. Passenger lists changed quite a bit over the years, and later records can be incredibly detailed. Depending on when the record was created, you may find your ancestor's last residence, the name of a relative they left behind in Europe, the person they were going to join in America, and sometimes their exact birthplace. That relative back in Europe can be especially valuable. If your ancestor named a father, mother, brother, or spouse living in a particular village, you now have another connection tying your immigrant to that place. And one more tip. Some passenger manifests continue onto a second page. The information you need may be there, so always read the entire entry. Third, go back to the U.S. Census. Census records may not usually give you the exact village in Europe, but they can help you narrow your search and build a timeline. The 1900 through 1930 censuses are especially helpful for immigrant ancestors. Depending on the census year, you may find an immigration year, naturalization information, language information, and the birthplaces of your ancestors' parents. But compare several censuses instead of trusting just one. If the 1900 census says your ancestor arrived in 1891 and the 1910 census says 1893, do not automatically assume one of them is wrong. Treat those dates as a range and search around them. Also watch for changing birthplaces. You may see Germany in one census and Poland in another, or Austria in one record and Hungary in another. That does not necessarily mean the family gave bad information. European borders changed many times. The same village could appear under different countries depending on when the record was created. That brings us to number 4. Draft registration cards. If your male ancestor was the right age for World War I or World War II registration, these records are worth checking. Depending on the registration, draft cards can give you an exact date and place of birth. They may also include citizenship information, occupation, employer, home address, a relative or contact person, and the person's signature. All of those details can help you make sure you have the right person, especially when you are dealing with a common name. But there is one important thing to remember. Registering for the draft does not mean someone actually served in the military. These are registration records, not proof of military service. Finally, check American church records. Baptisms, marriages, burials, confirmations, and other church records can sometimes tell you things that never appeared in civil records. You may find parents' names, a mother's maiden name, witnesses, godparents, or even a European place of origin. Pay special attention to witnesses and sponsors. Immigrant families often lived near relatives, friends, and other people from the same region or community back in Europe. So even if your ancestor's church record does not name the hometown, another person connected to that record may lead you there. For example, a baptismal sponsor might later have a naturalization record or passenger manifest that identifies the village. Church records can take a little more detective work because there is no single national archive that holds all of them. The records might still be with the local church or denominational archive, historical society, or another repository. Now here's the part I think is especially important. When you finally find a European place name in an American record, copy it exactly as it appears. Do not immediately change it to a modern spelling or modern country. A town listed as being in Germany in 1900 may be in Poland today. A village once recorded as part of Austria-Hungary could now be in Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, or another modern country. Keep the original wording in your research notes. Then use historical maps and gazetteers to figure out where the place is today and which parish or civil registration district served it when your ancestor lived there. My rule is simple. Before I seriously start researching European records, I like to have at least 2 strong clues pointing to the same person and place. That might be a hometown from a naturalization record plus an exact birth date from a draft card. Or it might be a passenger manifest naming the village plus a church record naming the parents. You are not looking for 5 records that all say exactly the same thing. You are building a case. So before you search Europe, check American naturalization records, passenger manifests, census records, draft registration cards, and church records. Find the town. Find the date. Find the family connection. Then cross the Atlantic. If you enjoy finding the records that other genealogists sometimes overlook, subscribe to my channel, give it a like, and tell me in the comments which American record finally revealed where your ancestor came from. And for more free genealogy resources and practical research strategies, check out one of the videos on your screen right now. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Good luck with your research, and I'll see you in the next one.